Hey guys, well, how are you doing today? Absolute Boris here, and I finally finished the Dolly Parton autobiography. It's very short. She's still alive. I would think the book would be this big. All the other parts of Dolly are pretty good size too. She's actually a tiny woman. Anyway, lots of coat of many colors, all these things. Check out her new the book by the Dolly. On a more serious note, wait, hang on. This segment of our show is dedicated to the great Richard Pryor, fellow comedian, so funny. Hear No Evil, See No Evil, The Toy, all very many classics and stand-up. His character Mudbone, Mudbone, the fundamental reason for my absence. The fundamental reason for my absence. Mudbone. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. This is dedicated to Richard Pryor. Earlier today, I speak with the state representative candidate, Bud Hulsey. Now, we could not ask the questions, the more serious political questions, he said, until he's elected. These are the questions he passed on. I will tell you the question. Ready? Dobyns-Bennett football are undefeated, playing Sullivan South, also undefeated. Who do you want to win? Okay. All right. Obamacare, for it or against it? What was its greatest benefit? Okay. Gay marriage, for or against? I can tell you he's very much against gay marriage. Number 6. Unwanted annexation. Micah Van Huss and Matthew Hill helped change the law in Tennessee so that the city, like the city of Kingsport, cannot take the people's land without them being able to assemble and protest beforehand. Tony Shipley did not help with this law. Would you have helped? Okay, wine in grocery stores. Are you for it or against it? Traffic light cameras, good or bad? How about bike lanes in the Kingsport? Are you for smaller government or bigger government? Okay, time to get gasoline in your car. We're passing the Mobile, the Exxon, the Sunoco, and Pilot. Where do you get your gas? Miss Joe Gregg asks, why do you think annexation is a moot point, and why did the city fight so hard and dirty to get you elected? Do the people want to be de-annexed? Is this possible? These were questions I was able to ask, not all of them, but they were questions that were refused to be answered on the camera. So anyway, he said he will answer these questions once the election is over with and he wins. He will answer the questions, anyone who asks. All right, so let's go. Let me take this off, lose the accent. All right, so my name's Jason Moore. All right, let's go with the questions we asked Bud as well. What's your favorite cartoon character and why? This is a toss-up. I like a lot of cartoon characters. If I was going to select one, I mean, Superman's great and all, but Underdog is my all-time favorite comic book character. I like Gru the Wanderer too, but as far as cartoon characters of all time, I'm going to have to go with Underdog. There's no need to fear. Underdog is here. Okay. My favorite television show of all time, Happy Days. Happy Days actually debuted January the 15th, 1974, the day after I was born. I grew up watching Happy Days. Spin-off from Happy Days, Mork and Mindy, one of my favorite shows is of all time too. But Happy Days was playful, wholesome, and fun. And, it's right up there with Andy Griffith. For me, Happy Days is better. It's my favorite all-time television show. All right, Dobyns-Bennett football, or if they were undefeated and Sullivan South is undefeated, who would you want to win? Personally, I would go with South. I graduated from South. You know, I'm a Kingsport person, but I graduated from Sullivan South, and I've got to go with the Rebels on this one. If they were playing them this year, I think Dobyns-Bennett would have their hands full too. Obamacare, are you for it or against it? What's its greatest benefit? Okay, there have been good things, very good things to do with Obamacare. I know you might be throwing vegetables at me right now, but my own mom had insurance that was worthless, pretty much, because she had a pre-existing condition. Once Obamacare took effect, she had to wait a year, but finally her insurance started covering the things that she was already paying for. And she had to pay out of pocket thousands and thousands of dollars for these treatments just for having a thyroid problem. So that was one of its obvious benefits. Universal health care can be a good thing if it's done properly. I think that it can be tweaked, and you know, no one should be forced to change doctors. No one should be forced to have insurance that they can't pay for that way. So there's obviously some things to fix there. But I'm for it. I'm for universal health care. I think everybody should have coverage. Nobody should be turned away from a hospital based on their financial situation. That's ridiculous. Okay. Gay marriage, are you for it or against it? No. Bud answered this question. He's obviously against it. I'm for it. This is a free country. You know, if you want to go to the Bible that way, Leviticus was canceled out by the New Covenant. And it's a free country. We're not to judge. It's not our job. All right. Unwanted annexation. All right. This never should have happened. I think that Kingsport, the city, wants to have a population of over 50,000, because if they have more than 50,000 for a certain period of time, they start getting more government funding that way, like Johnson City. Johnson City is the biggest city in the Tri-Cities, but they're the only one that's getting that additional funding. If Kingsport would be honest about what they're doing that way, and also not cherry picking the good neighborhoods and leaving out the bad neighborhoods that way. There's a fair way to do things. Get the people together. This is a democracy. If there's more people against it, there's no reason they should be annexed. All right, wine in grocery stores. Am I for it or against it? You know, you can go to right across the street to get the wine. So grocery stores, it works in Virginia. It can work in Tennessee too. Everything in moderation, though, folks. If you have a problem with alcohol, or if someone tells you you have a problem with alcohol and you're still in denial, you might want to examine your life that way when you're drinking wine, beer, anything like that. If you have a problem, there are people out there that can help you. So, I mean, I'll help you. I'm not a licensed counselor or anything like that. I've got a good friend that offers help that way too, but he'll put you in the right ballpark of who could give you advice and actually really get you some help. But yeah, wine and grocery stores, sure, I'm for it. Are you a dog or cat person? I'm both. I've got a dog. I've got 2 cats. I love animals. There's nothing else to say about that, really. Traffic light cameras. Am I for it or against it? I'm against it. I'm completely against it. This goes against, it's something that Isaac Asimov wrote about, and he's a science fiction writer, but all the things that he writes about are coming to fruition. You see that movie Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes? I mean, pretty soon we're going to get a ticket for saying the wrong thing in public. And that kind of happens anyway with political correctness, which I also think is a bunch of bull. Okay, bike lanes in Kingsport. First thing I noticed when I got back from Japan, I live on Yadkin Street, right near Center Street. I'm for it. I think it's great. I think it's green. It encourages people to ride their bicycles downtown. There are a lot of jobs downtown. If people did ride bicycles, it would be better. It would be greener. They're going to save on their gasoline that way too. But people got to slow down. I walk Elvis out here on Center Street, and the speed limit is 30 miles an hour. But people are going 45, 50 miles an hour easily. And, be safe. Get off your phone too. Turn your phone off when you're in the car. All right. What is your all-time favorite gospel song? Can you sing a first few lines? I'm going to go with William Cowper, There is a Fountain. There is a fountain filled with blood, drawn from Emmanuel's veins, and sinners plunge beneath that flood, lose all their guilty stains. That just kind of jumped out at me. I've always liked that song. I also really liked Farther Along. I like just about all the Elvis versions of gospel music. Wow, there's so many really good singers. Shirley Caesar, The Old Apple Tree is one of my favorite songs too. Okay, who was my childhood hero and why? That goes without question. My childhood hero was my Papa Judd Moore. I'm not going to say anything else about that because I'll end up getting upset. But you can read about him in my book, Understanding Apples. Smaller government or bigger government? I'm for smaller government. Always for smaller government. No traffic light cameras. That's a big no-no. That's one of many things that way. Smaller government for sure. Also, those traffic light cameras, they're third parties that make money off of that. The city may make a little bit of money, but the majority of the money goes to some private company. That's wrong. Anyway, okay, going to get gas. Mobil, Exxon, Sunoco, or Pilot. Where do you get your gas? I usually go where it's cheapest, but I'm going to go to Food City because I usually have at least one fill up with my fuel bucks. So I'm going to go with Food City Gas and Go. All right, number 15. Clint Eastwood, Chuck Connors, John Wayne, and James Arness get into a bar brawl. Who wins? Okay, now Chuck Connors, by far from those four, is so athletic. He was a professional baseball player. Yeah, in real life, I'm going to say that, but this is a fist fight. This is a brawl, so definitely. But if guns are involved, then Clint Eastwood comes out, and plus he's the only one that's still alive today. And these other guys might feel lucky, but he's the one who's still around. Good old Rowdy. Okay, and Joe Gragg asks, why do you think annexation is a moot point? I don't think it's a moot point, but Matthew Hill and Micah Van Huss, other representatives, did work to get that overturned where the city can't just annex at will that way. Another two words that gets thrown around a lot, especially around here and around what the river plans are with Netherland in that area, is eminent domain. When you start hearing that, watch out. I have a great uncle who's had a business for a long time on that road, and he paid a tax pretty much for his business of $150,000 a year. That the value of his property would be worth that, and eminent domain says no, it's only worth $17,000. So he's like, well, I've been paying this tax all this time based on this other. Why am I not getting that? So eminent domain, folks, same thing as annexation when you think about it. Yeah, I'm on your side there. I'm all for smaller government that way too. Do people want to be de-annexed? Yes, they do. I've had several letters sent to me, several private messages that way, and talked to people on the street too. Is there a way to reverse it? Probably not. If there is, and I'm elected, I will work and fight for you to be de-annexed. I promise. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to Boris's show. This is one of the longest segments we've done, but I do thank you for tuning in, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Just send them my way. Thank you very much. God bless you.